afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda Hero, Psych Defender of the Fatherland. Also, fun fact, today is my birthday, so happy birthday to me. In honor of my birthday, curfew is extended for 3 minutes. But anyway, it's off here to 1 vs 1 on Holotny Family between in the West, Deep Dark Fantasy, fighting here for the Soviet Union, for the glory of socialism, and the 7th Guards, the Rifle Division versus in the East we got Borgore fighting here for the Wehrmacht, Germany, rolling up with the 3rd Panzer Division. With mobile defense, assault support here, and spearhead versus shock rifle, partisan tactics and guard motor with infantry versus all guards with a single sniper there, actually, so not all guards, mostly guards, and a single sniper there with the special rifle command penal troopers up there for Deep Dark. Engineers heading out. No, by the way, no engineers are conscripts, so that way, at least offset the sort of lack of territorial capture in the early game since he went for that, but just straight into the penal troopers when he can take faster, get out the 2nd squad, and that was sort of punch harder, but nonetheless he will fall a bit behind capture-wise against Borgore. Troops heading northwards there with the Grenadiers, MD-42 Pioneers heading southwards, slowly but surely. Bartweiler in the centre to deny cover around here, pretty standard move on that piece of wreckage. Grenadiers heading northwards. So Sergei, how come we always have to wire this thing down? You know, I don't know. I just feel like we always end up doing it. Yes, I think I know what you're talking about. This is weird. Grenadiers heading northwards in the South Pioneers, 74 moving about there. More Grenadiers here for Borgore. And there go first engagement. Grenadiers versus penal troops, of course, also alerting here Borgore to the fact he's going to. Oh dear, that's a bad move though. I mean, generally, you do not run up close to assault Grenadiers with Grenadiers. That's a losing proposition for Grenadiers. I'm not entirely sure what he's thinking. I'm guessing he wasn't quite paying attention. He's sort of thinking, oh, just conscripts, and then, oh wait, that's not working out. Those probably aren't conscripts. But even then, you shouldn't be running up to conscripts. In fact, generally with the Germans, you do not run up to the Russians. You try and stay at range against them. That was a bit of a weird idea there by Borgore overall. Scout car on the way there. MD-42 securing territory in the south. And the 2nd Grenadier squad is heading northwards as well. Grenadiers moving their back. We've got a 3rd squad there for Borgore and the 3rd Panzer Division. Points are being secured there. And there she's actually not really going for the fuel right away. That will mean Borgore will have a fuel lead over Deep Dark Fantasy of socialism. Seductive. Unless, you know, you're not into that. And he's going into his again. He's running them up there. He's running them up there. I can't help but feel Borgore is some kind of missed a memo somewhere. Somewhere missed a memo. And there's some Führerbefehl pointing out, you know, it's a pretty bad idea to run your Grenadiers up to those chaps. Scout cover rolling out there. The M3A1 for Deep Dark Fantasy. We'll probably filling it up with penal troopers. Grenadiers are back for reinforcements again. Other Grenadiers squad with more Grenadiers heading northwards there. He's very determined with those Grenadiers in the south. MD-42 versus engineers here. Catches there. Not quite within range for the Panzerfaust though, and splits up his Grenadiers. But probably trying to keep them together there against the Russians, so they can each provide covering fire for each other. MD-42 falling back here in the face of the engineers. We've got the Scout coming down. In fact, it's going to have to retreat from here because all of these combined tactical force could easily overwhelm the Pioneers and the MD-42. That's going to have to be a retreat right then and there. Otherwise, that's going to be a wipe and an MD-42 for the Russians. No take up here, just a bunker there for Borgore. Grabbing northern territory, they got the MD-14 pushed back here with the Scout cut up here in the centre. They got the Pioneers also retreating, so there you go, full retreat here from Borgore in the face of the Scout car penal trooper combo. Medic bunker on the way, Grenadiers setting out. Probably should consider taking up there as fast as possible. I mean, Russia at 2-2 would not be a bad idea against this kind of Russian firepower. Looks like Deep Dark Fantasy might be aiming for the sniper next. I mean, he could go for penal troopers now or something else, but he's very much deciding to save up the manpower. So that could very well like there be the sniper. Grenadiers versus double engineers there. No tag up there. Bunker up though. Nothing further there for Deep Dark Fantasy. We've got the Scout color rolling in. Grenadiers need to be careful. The Grenadiers need to be very careful. Going for the cop on there. Grenadiers trying to Panzerfaust. In this case, though, Deep Dark Fantasy quickly reacts, pulls back the Scout car. Moves ahead again. Flamethrowers up there. The Grenadiers will have to retreat here. That's a bit much there for them to deal with. And there you go, full retreat here. Tech up there finally going on. Need to get the MD-42 moving. He considers some mines around the centre here. Maybe catch up the Scout car, trip it up. Pioneers heading northwards. Deep Dark now heading south, 30 exploding manpower, might be too focused there on the front line, which has, then resulted in a bit of a float there again when he could be going for more troops. There's also another theory that he's actually aiming here for something from the guard mode. He's just trying to set up points there before then calling in heavy mortars and guardsmen right away, sort of trying to flood the field then with better stuff. A bit more risky though. It gives Borgore here more chance to get back on the field and actually that way dominate him. So it's not really a recommendable move there from Deep Dark. It's not a recommendable move. Might want to be careful there. I mean, right in front of a house there. I'm not entirely sure what Borgore's expecting there, but a bit more risky. I mean, he could rough grenade here. He could rough grenade. There we go. We got a rough grenade there. He's almost good to go. And there we go. Good hit. Good hit. Now the penal troops will have to retreat here. Point blank MP425 plus a rough grenade there has done considerable harm to the Russians. Shit! Everybody is dead except us two. We'll have to retreat. And there you go. Looks like he's planning here the Guard motor flood. Guard rifle out. Going to follow up the heavy mortar, and there we go. So that's pretty much his plan there. He was basically sort of sitting up there, just calling both at the same time as soon as he hit it. A bit risky, but again, it does give him sort of more of an explosive move once he does hit the 2 command points. But now he has to fight back, to get back all the ground he's lost there against Borgore and the 3rd Panzer Division. We got the scout cutter rolling ahead within gears at this time. Flamethrowers on the way as well there. I mean, flamethrowers are a pretty good investment there. So Russians versus the Germans. The Germans will likely in most cases be sticking to heavy cover. And U-42 in the church. While he has the tech up, he needs to sort of build it up there. Otherwise, he's not conquering anywhere. In that regard, he'll probably aim for the 222 first, help deal with the scout car. Of course, the Guardsman will help counter the 222 there. Heavy mortar's going to cause problems there for Borgore as well. Also, my apologies from sounding tired. It's a bit late here. Basically, had to do some stuff earlier in the day. While I was recording this, by the way. The day before my birthday, of course, recording this. But of course, when you watch it, it is my birthday. But had to do some stuff then. That's rather left me tired. Basically, some stuff with some glasses which weren't quite properly done in the first place. There you go, like to make a nice jump up here, finding him around the center. Penal troops there, can easy to retreat, We've got a rough grenade against the penal troops there. Fired, and good hit there. Grenadier is barely surviving, a bit closer to shave here for Borgore. The heavy mortars by being pushed back to the base there. So a bit of aggressive push there from Borgore, which does seem to have successfully done the trick there for now anyways. And there he goes, going for Panzer Grenadiers first. I would again figuring out 2-2 versus the scout car. But Panzer Grenadiers of course will be more helpful versus the other infantry. But again, does mean that the M3A1 gets more free reign there. Deep Dark Fantasy might want to consider laying down some mines up there in the north. You got people covering off the path here, retreat for some of the units. Nice aggressive flank. They almost got the MP4-2 watt in this case though. Looks like Ludwig there gets away mostly safely. Take up at the same time as he calls up the Panzer Grenadiers there with their Sturmgewehrs. Up here with the Pioneers being struck here by the scout car, the M3A1. American then lease equipment.
Engineers ready for assignment.
Take up still done. Happening. Reinforcement healing there. Panzer Grenadiers saying northwards. The Sturmgewehrs and Kar-98Ks. Though technically most Panzer Grenadiers were not equipped with assault rifles, and even then it was a transition that happened sort of a bit more quickly, and certainly only really took on by 1945. Until then it was sort of the few units sort of had it in any greater degree. And those specifically were the Panzer Brigades, which mostly fought on the Western Front. I mean, slowly, of course, as more assault rifles became available, there was sort of more happening there with the Panzer Grenadier units, but even then, it's sort of, all of them. A little fun fact there. We got some points there being grabbed in the south of Russia going on the nicely down there by Deep Dark Fantasy. Penals are being pushed back by heavy Grenadier pressure, relying in this case on some blobbing a bit their raw firepower. Panzer Grenadiers saying northwards with Pioneer support there. Could go for the fuel point. Again, the lack of might means Borgore there can easily sort of move in where he wants to. And we got their tech up here for Deep Dark Fantasy opening up for Rapid T-70. He could also go for the half-tech to support his troops, but he's likely going to aim for the T-70 that way for some armoured superiority. Heavy mortar fire there against the Grenadiers, the 120mm mortar. Not the biggest mortar the Soviets had, that by was the 160mm mortar. Also, fun fact, the Germans, the Finns, I believe, they released the remains, and the Hungarians all copied the 120mm mortar right down to, well, everything, basically. Just a flat-out rip-off. which then used and basically sort of caused a lot of changes there with sort of how the Germans used mortars and like that. For example, losing them the 50mm mortar on the squad level, bringing on their hand moving the 80mm mortar down further notch there, and then sort of popping in the 120mm mortar, which actually in some cases almost replaced the light infantry gun as well. Fun fact there. There you go, Haymortar for all over the place. Going to get Guardsmen holding up. Not really the best position for infantry to block through these though. It's going to bleed out there. That's sort of more the position for machine gun. Here it's great for infantry. The problem is, again, once he's there, he's just going to be attacked from here. Scout cutting north there to catch and deal with the Pioneers. Again, no mines there. And he's going for Panzerjäger, so that's pretty aggressive there. But of course, he's probably expecting light armor as well now. So Panzerjäger says not a bad idea. But there you go. We do have the 2-2 out there for Borgore. It took him some time there, but he did hit on it. He did hit on the 2-2-2 there. He's trying, I think, to scope kick the M3-1, but in this case, DeepDarkFantasy tries to try and stay clear of that. MP4 dealing with there in the south. Grenadiers so well to have engineers and Guardsmen again. Not sure where I ran out in front of that. Panzer Grenadiers for Grenadier support there. Of course, soon Panzerjägers. No, they cancelled it. He cancelled. Oh, I went for it again. Seemed might have been a misclick there, or Borgore can't just quite make up his mind.
Light tank ready for orders.
There we go. T-70 light tank out there for DeepDarkFantasy.
Sector is at risk.
Troop ceiling reinforcing. You can build up support across soon enough. Oh, we did actually have a mine there. Good job. Nope, well, we actually put it down there in the covers in case his opponent tried to use it. Just moved in there. Of course, there's going to be some kills. Nice job there. Penal troops at the 2-2 Pioneers, though. Could risk being wiped here, but the 2-2 is doing sufficient damage there on the penal troop. That might just save the Pioneers there. Might, there we go. Down to just 2 men. In the south, Panzerjäger's Grenadiers there pushing forwards for the fatherland. And there you go, the T-70 strikes, and the 2-2 just does not stand a chance there. That thing's going to go down pretty rapidly. Pioneers there reinforcing.
The enemy has dealt us a blow.
Healing, points them being secured, engineers being pushed back by the Grenadiers. T-70 moving towards the center. So, by the way, got the M3-1 there operating. The Russians got a lot of Lend-Lease equipment from the Americans, by the way, though. It was mostly in the form of logistical equipment. Trucks, for example. They got a lot of trucks, but also a lot of trains. A lot of railway stuff. Fuel, even food. Not so many tanks and other elements like for the front line, but just mostly just sort of logistical stuff for the rear lines, where you usually don't hear so much about it. Of course, the Russian industry wasn't really that efficient, and while it could certainly make a great deal of tanks, it couldn't really do a lot of other things. The Americans really had to supply the Russians with a lot of stuff. Damage in the T-70, got another T-70 away for DeepDarkFantasy. He's going pretty heavy on the light tanks, that's a bit risky. Panzerjäger's coming down there, going to help finish off the damaged T-70. Opening up that tin can.
The enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
There we go, kaput. Blown up. Nice work there by Borgore. He's built up the support core. He could go for Stuke fast. He could, of course, aim for the Austrian Flak Panzer. I mean, a bit of risky investment here to go for double T-70s, at least at this point. I mean, had he been able to get out faster, that would have been great. But at this stage, it's always something you have to be a bit mindful of. Particularly since it's got nothing to do with medium armor. He's got no field guns, for example, and only one guard squad. So there's certainly some debate to whether or not this was a good move. Personally, I don't think so. I mean, Borgore there's going to have a field everything, but that's at least going to allow him to more easily go for an Austrian because it doesn't have to worry about any medium armor right away. So that makes the Austrian here a much better investment there for Borgore and the 3rd Panzer Division. Up north, taking the lead with the scout car there rolling ahead. 2 kills. Panzerfaust knocks it out and kills Sergei and Petrov, burning up inside the scout car. I told you, seatbelts, bad idea. Capitalist badness. So will he go for the Austrian? Actually try and aim for the Panzer IV here. I mean, that's going to be a bit risky at this point. I mean, he's got barely any ground here versus DeepDarkFantasy, so he needs to push back fast. And there you go, we got the Flak Panzer on the way there for Borgore. Hey, mortar fire there all over the place. Grenadiers advancing under fire from the T-70. Guardsmen are coming from the house as usual. They really should do something about that on a more permanent basis. Panzerjägers there, not really good position out in the open. Negative cover. Remember, negative cover is not a place your infantry wants to be. Oh, house with the guardsmen inside it. Bad news there for DeepDarkFantasy, but he's almost got the Austrian ready. Yeah, Borgore, that might just sort of facilitate a more stronger counterattack. versus DeepDarkFantasy because, well, he's going to be completely unguarded against. You should be able to see here now there's a support armor core going on there, so you really should not be risking it that much. You should be bringing up some kind of anti-tank at the very least in SU-26. That's too late now. Austin Flak Panzer arrives on the battlefield.
Our territory is falling into enemy hands.
But it is they're reporting in We've got mines on the road there. Good spot though, good spot. Flak Panzer sets out swiftly, but needs to be careful it doesn't get too far ahead either.
Guard rifle infantry squads are now available.
It's a Flak Panzer, not a King Tiger, on speed. Or Pervitin. Which, depending on the sources, were either not that used or widely used. Though, mind you, I mean, the Allies also gave their troops methamphetamines as well. It's not like it's something the Germans uniquely did. So attacking to the south, but not supported by the Ostman there. A bit risky, a bit risky. Then again, if you can cause a lot of havoc with the Ostman in behind rear lines, again, though, it is risky, it is risky. I mean, you could risk it, you know, being immobilized and left behind there, destroyed, abandoned, taken by the enemy. And there's a lot of problems here, really, but so far, though, it seems to have quite an effect there. I mean, it's basically just causing complete havoc here. Indeed, DeepDarkFantasy's rear lines, causing him to retreat heavy weapons in the face of the Flak Panzer. T-7 there driving about there. He could end up doing a ton of damage there to DeepDarkFantasy with it. There you go. More guardsmen here in response to the Flak Panzer causing havoc. Need to move the front there towards it to decrease the damage. Oh, no penetration chance. There we go. Got the T-70. Panzerjägers there were basically ready to cut off the retreat path or escape path there. Need to retreat the Panzerjägers though. They're in a bad position there. Button grenade though, and dodged it, but the church has collapsed. And now the guards, oh, there they go, but the Ostwind moves it back in. Remember, stop and shoot, and there we go. Remember, an Ostwind that isn't moving shoots a lot more bloody accurately. Remember, it's a 50% decrease in accuracy. Seems like Borgore remembered those words of wisdom and wiped the guardsman on retreat. All of a sudden, that Ostwind has already paid itself off, I would say, almost fully. I mean, it got a guard squad, it got a T-70. That's as, I think, as well, it probably has paid itself already by now. In a few minutes. I mean, a well-handled Ostwind is a devastating tool. A well-handled Ostwind is a devastating tool in the right hands. Of course, the trick is when you don't use it, it just becomes useless because, well, it hits more than it, well, it misses more than it hits because, again, it takes a 50%, you know, plummet. So keep that in mind, and that applies to a lot of German vehicles, really. Peons with their charging forward, they're going before setting up retreat. Back here, healing reinforcement going on there for Borgore and the 3rd Panzer Division. In the meanwhile, though, DeepDarkFantasy is rolling ahead for bigger armour for T-34s. Likely the T-3045 since he has gone for Guards Motor. Victory points wise, the DeepDarkFantasy has a huge lead over Borgore at the moment. So that's only going to be a bit tricky there for him. And he goes for assault support. Calling in an Opel Blitz. Probably could also use the officer, by the way, there to support his men. But there you go, the Opel Blitz, one of, well, many trucks throughout the war operated by the Germans. But this one sort of an attempt, I think, to standardise the sort of trucks, because at one point the Germans just operated so many different vehicles and trucks from so many countries, so many firms, it basically gave them huge logistical issues. So they sort of tried to do that, for example, sort of thing, stuff like the Opel Blitz was an attempt there to just standardise it, meaning less logistical issues, because, I mean, if you got French trucks, you don't need, you know, spare parts for Austrian trucks. Which was the case, for example, because the French basically, while they refused to make the Germans any of their tanks or operate with them, they were more than happy to make them trucks and motorcycles and cars. Little fun fact there. Gonna need to retreat. Ostman moving down from the south north there. Points being secured here. Pack 40 arriving as well. We can see here that Borgore is taking the enemy armour threat seriously. DeepDarkFantasy isn't quite taking the Ostman seriously. They're going to stop, shoot and move. Stop, move, shoot and move. There we go. Stopping up. He's moving again, and as you might notice, it's a lot less accurate while on the move. So again, you generally don't want it moving when you want it to actually kill something. And you also want, you know, not to shoot directly at cover, because it's not very effective against units of cover. It's more sort of, you know, flank unit or catching units out in the open. Still managed another 2 kills to hit Veteran C1 with a Flak Panzer. Come on, stop it. And again, as soon as it stops, hey, kill rate goes up explosively. In the center, Grenadiers versus Mortar Crew, Penal Troopers. Up north, Guardsmen there, actually taking loss there from the Austrian Flak Panzer. And the centre going to do some push back for Borgore's troops. He's closing in on the T-3045. He could go for the T-3476 now and try and push the Austrian away faster, though the Guardsmen might have a small chance here. Need to pull away the Austrian though. Or in this case, he might actually just have chances since they're so low in health. The Austrian could in theory finish them off. Probably the loss they suffered there while trying to get into the house. Engineers push back, but overall flak panzers are sort of the rare thing. I mean, you're probably more likely to see a sort of car, field car, with a 2 centimeter flak on it. You generally see a flak panzer. I mean, they had a lot of trucks, half-tracked cars, mounted with sort of different calibers of anti-aircraft guns, really. That was sort of the more common mobile arrangement in the Wehrmacht. Flak panzers were generally quite rare, in particular the ones based on the Panzer IV chassis. So a little fun fact there. Another off grenade against the engineers there. Decent hit. MD-42 veteran 3. Looks like he's aiming for the Tiger here, by the way. I mean, also good to put on the fuel point. He actually gets twice as much fuel out of it now. That's the thing to keep in mind. The Opel Blitz pretty much just doubles income from any point you place it on. So again, here you get 14 fuel now. Popping in here, you get 10 fuel and 10 munitions and 6 fuel. If you pop in a munition point, you get 22 munitions off that point. I mean, a well-utilized Opel Blitz, for example, can give you a huge resource surge. I mean, right here, I mean, he's again getting almost 40 fuel per minute, which means he can very quickly go for a Tiger here. So it's a very good move there. In that regard, the Opel Blitz is very much better than the fuel cache. They cost the same, but just an Opel Blitz on a fuel point is pretty much worth more than 2 fuel caches. Hell, 2 Opel Blitzes and 2 of these points here, for example, is also worth more than the caches. Because you basically sort of get the benefit of 2 fuel caches and 2 munitions caches. Just from 2 of those. So again, Opel Blitz are a huge resource sort of income things, but again, they don't affect your teammates. Those, I mean, they're much better in 1 versus 1s really than in team games, which is rather hard to be, I suppose. Of course, I mean, they can still be used in team games, at least give 1 edge there to a player, but of course, they won't benefit the teammates. But there you go, T-55 catches the Austrian. In this case, Borgore, though, was playing his Austrian too loose, not using it to support his infantry. He got too eager, too greedy. He was like Icarus with an anti-aircraft gun. Well, that doesn't work because Icarus was flying, you know, so he'd shoot himself down, I guess. Either way, the Austrian is dead. I mean, he just hit veteran 2 as well. Holy moly, they go flying like Icarus, and then they fall down. And he's going to lose the Opel Blitz here. Takes a hit. Main gun destroyed. What gun? What guns? This is an Opel Blitz. Nine. I should have listened to Mutti. Guards were there pushing back the Grenadiers. T-55 on a rampage now against Borgore here. Again, he's waiting for the Tiger, obviously, but that has left him weak here to the T-3045. Just needs a bit of manpower. We got incendiary armor piercing rounds in a crazy gambit there by Borgore against the Deep Dark. No making analysis again. I'm tired, so I'm just going to skip through here this time around. T-55, they're close to being knocked out here. Back here, healing reinforcement going. We can see Borgore suffered quite a huge loss here versus DeepDarkFantasy. And there you go, T-3045 knocked out a shot, cooked it up quite nicely. Generally, most penetrating hits against a T-3045 that would have been fatal due to the fact that they were really cramped small tanks. The sloping, while of course also effective, meant there was even less space inside the tank, meaning munitions and fuel was basically scattered all the way, meaning generally any penetrating hit was very likely of cooking off the tank, which is a bit, you know, awkward design. Again, that's one of those things that tends not to get talked about a lot with a tank. The other issue with cramped sort of interiors means it also had a slow rate of fire due to the fact that, well, there wasn't a lot of crew, and again, the way the munitions were stashed, and again, it's also difficult to get to. So there were a lot of issues there with the T-3045. Flamethrower there dropped. Both sides low on infantry. Borgore, though, can soon go for the Tiger tank, the Tiger. And that way push forwards for the fatherland. He's also got plenty of munitions which could be utilised here for some strafing runs. Grenadiers going after the engineers, their mines down there, though. Good spot. Tiger available and called in for Germany. Rolling ahead there. Panzer Grenadiers need to retreat. Grenadiers going for the northern munitions. Haymotor flying away, they're close to it in T2. Catching the guardsman out in the open, firing his 88mm gun. And turning on the other guardsman much closer. Machine guns and the main gun for the fatherland. Trees are flying there. And proceed to try and run over the guardsmen there, but they do escape there safely. Tiger continues the pursuit for another target. Catches the penal troops, gets a good hit there. Ground points up north. This, by the way, was the, I think, later model Tiger. Can't quite remember the model now, but they're basically sort of two models of Tiger. The first one's the more prototype. The later one, for example, had thicker armor on the top to make it more resistant to artillery, but also airstrikes. I mean, generally here when they sort of reinforce the front armors on there, but again, top armor tends to be less talked about. Because again, most people tend to think about, you know, that. But again, artillery was a very real threat to most tanks, except the King Tiger, which was built so it could actually take on the heaviest of artillery and still get through it. Guardsman there pinned down, so he's basically conducting an airstrike around his opponent's base. We've got a marked vehicle on it. He's going for a field gun there. Rather late though for DeepDarkFantasy. That allows the Tiger several hits there. Halfway there to veterans on the Tiger. Grenadiers are supporting. Troops getting ready here. Needs to set out for the fatherland. And Tiger falls back. He's not taking his opponent too lightly. And quickly falls back with the Tiger if he feels threatened. Good response there. And again pinned down by the Luftwaffe. Grenadiers need to be careful. And there goes this 3 penetrates the Tiger, gets off some good damage there, thanks to the marked vehicle. Second shot though failed to penetrate the 100mm thick armor of the Tiger. The glazes though on the Tiger I believe was thicker. I can't quite remember how much thicker. Probably 120mm or something like that. Usually the mantlet was thicker by usually 20mm in most of those things. Seems to be the rule of thumb. Trying to go away the top there, go exposed in the ridge. The guardsman, not a good move there. Increased the chance of penetrating the Tiger's armor. Of course, on an actual Tiger, that would have been a lot harder to pull off, since even the rear armor, I believe, on the Tiger was 80mm. Meaning the rear armor was pretty difficult to penetrate. At least 60mm, still reasonably thick for a tank. But that rather made, in the actual war, the Tiger a lot more daunting to actually, you know, outmaneuver and flank out. Actually, might not have been 80. So. I know the side armor was 80mm, but the rear armor might not have been quite as thick. I might be imagining things there. I'm remembering them very, very wrong, which is also very likely there. I'm a bit tired. Panzer 4 on the way there for Borgore, though, and the 3rd Panzer Division hit Grenadiers versus Penal Troopers. Double flame for us. Double the socialism. And the rough grenade there, in this case, quickly dodged. Veteran 13 kills there for the Rodina. In the south of Rashman going on there, good work. Trying not to get too caught up in one point at a time. So not just another sendless meat grinder. Panzer 4 halfway done there for Borgore. Panzer 4, well, Tiger there being worked on at Panzer 6. Nope, by the way, the King Tiger was also basically a Panzer 6. It was just known as the Panzer 6B. Or Tiger 2. But it was technically also Panzer 6, despite, you know, in theory, the two tanks weren't really that related. But it's a little fun fact there. There you go, Panzer 4 setting out. Pindermark machine gun on the way. Carton versus Grenadiers here. 18 kills for the fatherland. Heading southwards there with its Pindermark machine gun on the way for added anti-infantry. It is the spot and quickly engaged. Shoot auto, load high explosive rounds. 500 meters. Are you sure it's 400? 500. Alright, alright. Fixing up the Tiger there. T-55 on the way for DeepDarkFantasy. The gun on the T-55 adapted from an anti-aircraft gun of the 85mm caliber. I think would have been roughly in strength there of the Tiger tank, but less experienced crew. For starters, again, crap interiors, even with a bigger turret. There were still issues there with Joe Moorman, even, you know, on optimal conditions, still have not really been able to shoot, say, as fast as a Tiger tank. And the optics weren't that good either. Guardsman there is the Tiger. Grenadiers, a white bit of a loss there for Borgore. Can't really afford infantry loss at this stage. Should probably swap for some regular Panzer Grenadiers. 4 strikes into the base there for Borgore. Very aggressive player, very opportunistic player. I mean, opportunism can be good, but occasionally can land you into these situations there where once you hit, your opponent gets out a T-30-45 at the same time. Both tanks miss each other. Target here, there's a rounded marked vehicle field gun. Oh dear. Always keep your tank supported with infantry and don't just blitz them in too quickly into everything. Right here again, while Borgore's tactics occasionally have yielded him a lot of good, occasionally they also yield you a lot of bad. And that's basically what happened here for Borgore. I mean, you know, live by the opportunism, die by it. And that's basically sort of the other side again. It can make you a great raid for the Nosfin, but it can also cost you a Tiger and a Panzer IV. That's sort of the thing you have to keep in mind. You gotta sort of have, you know, option for getting them out of the trouble, and that's the problem here. Borgore, for example, didn't have an option of getting the Tiger out of there. There was no more to the smoke screens, and not enough infantry to sort of sufficiently cover it. Same here. So in that regard, you know, try and keep, you know, escape plans in mind when you're sort of planning big attacks, and you know, keep infantry nearby, and if necessary everybody else fails, a mortar with a smoke screen ready. Right then, in this case, Deep Dark now has the arm advantage. Borgore here again. Very aggressive player, and again, that can't backfire on you. Again, sometimes leads to all the great stuff, but occasionally, it really just bites your ass off. That's basically sort of what happened here for Borgore. So there's something there to keep in mind, you know. Even if your player's aggressive, sometimes you're just going to get punished for no sort of specific reason, besides just bad luck. But again, if you do play aggressively, you're more likely just to pull off that stuff there with the Osprey again, just do a ton of insane damage to your opponent. It's just sort of more learning, you know, when to, you know, pull back as well. And that's sort of the, you know, lesson here Borgore needs to learn, you know, when to just break off the assault and just try and get out of there, but also try and plan for escapes. But it's nice, you know, to see someone not used to the Tiger tank, you know, as a lawn ornament. But, you know, would have been nice if, you know, he had just blitzed it in there with completely no support there. That's, again, head on at least. I mean, you say flank with it, you know, a bit more excusable. Anyways, another Panzer IV there for Borgore. No immediate sign of another Tiger there for the Panzerwaffe. Going the northern point, Tigers generally were organised into heavy tank departments independently. There's sort of initially, there are sort of few units here and there that sort of happened organically. The Großdeutschland and the first 3 SS Panzer divisions, but in most cases I believe they lost them again. I think the Großdeutschland kept their sort of heavy tank company, but otherwise they lost them and they're formed into sort of independent tank battalions that could be attached wherever needed. The Tigers would also be organised into radio control units for Goliaths and Borgore 4Bs, which were the Goliaths' bigger brother. It's a little fun fact there about Tiger tanks and how they're organised. Though that's just a part of it. There was generally sort of a lot of changes to Tiger tank battalions throughout the war. I think there's sort of like 3 major revisions. Back forward there, going in off the T-55 in the south there. And as of course before then they were promoted, then switched over to King Tiger, so they've still been to the end, you know, full Tiger 1 battalions. Anyways, past the trouble, them Guardsmen pinned down. You can soon call in some more air support here. Another heavy mortar here for Borgore. We lost the other one to the fascists. And MD-42 here, Veteran 3. Really a veteran crew here is doing a lot there to keep Borgore in the game. Without it, he probably wouldn't be so well off at the moment. Panzer IV's going to need some serious repairs. Closing in on Veterans 1, MD-42 retreated, almost wiped out there. Panzer IV laying some good hits. Victory points wise, we got a lead there for Borgore now over Deep Dark Fantasy. Panzer IV moving ahead, taking some damage. Need to pull back, Schnell. MD-42 makes way back. We got fresh Panzer Grenadiers here for Borgore. Panzer Jägers retreating, field gun advancing, the CIS-3. Flamethrowers for Deep Dark Fantasy and the 7th Guards, the Rifle Division. You really should consider calling an officer. I mean, the officer's actually pretty good, it's just most players tend to neglect him. But there you go, another Opel Blitz right now for Borgore, I think is a pretty bold move. Not really sure I'd go for another upper blitz now, but there you go, grenade on the Panzer. Can they just quickly dodge though? But Gunther there still goes down. Scheiße, Gunther, I told you, keep up with the rest of us. Fixing up the Panzer IV there. More pioneers would be good. In fact, he is getting more pioneers. Good work there. And soon, DeepDarkFantasy to call up another T-35. Let's say we're going to force Borgore, though, to have to call in Stukes to have a sort of decent chance against that, because just Panzer IVs versus a number of T-35s is going to be quite the challenge, and certainly I don't think it's going to work out very efficiently. Stukes, on the other hand, with their higher penetration, higher range, and high rate of fire, will be much more suited for taking on the T-35s than the Panzer IVs, which again don't quite sort of compete. I mean, they almost cost the same thing, though. I mean, I think the difference is like 5 fuel and a bit on manpower. Yet the T-35s have, well, not better armor, but they've better health and better penetration, which tends to mean in that sort of sense, there for just a little bit more, they tend to have a decisive and get advantage over Panzer IVs in an engagement. Doesn't help, he's got a field grenade supporting our Veteran 2. Panzer IV needs to pull back, Veteran 1 there. Borgore really needs either Tiger here, but I think Stooges are going to make more sense. We got another air support run here from Borgore. Another strike from the Luftwaffe. And he's going in for another Panzer IV. Yeah. I really think you should consider Stooges now. You really should get some Stooges. Some Sturmgeschütz. Rasmus here in the north trying to deny DeepDarkFantasy resources for more armor rapidly. Cause some havoc, some confusion. Not a bad idea as such. They just need to be careful he doesn't get hunted down by enemy tanks like, say, you know, the T-35. Which is very much the problem. It's also close to Veteran 2, which means better accuracy and higher rate of fire. Or at least better turret rotation, which can also have an effect there, by the way. Panzerjägers need to retreat, though. There we go, another T-35 here, and again, that basically means, again, Borgore will be finding it a disadvantage. You really should be aiming for Stooges, not another Panzer IV here. So we do think that's a bit of a strategic error there by Borgore against DeepDarkFantasy. That could very well keep DeepDarkFantasy there the upper hand. Panzerjägers in the north. Panzer IV moving in, supported by the Pack 40. We've got Pioneer 74-2 fighting desperately against the Russians. Panzer IV moving in, Pack 40 needs to start schnell. Maybe if DeepDarkFantasy makes some mistakes around the Pack 40, he might have a chance here. Dark's being murdered there by the MB42 up north. Panzer IV is not doing anything, could clear up the max, could be doing something. Funes flank behind, they need Panzer IV support. Panzerjägers force back. And the second T-35 there arrives. MB42 pushes back here, taking too much damage from the Russian heavy mortar crew. Panzer IV there pushing back the Strafniki. Dark they're pushing forwards. Pioneers taking losses. Panzer IV trying to do the best to deal with them here. Good flank behind the field, can deal with it. Panzer IV taking heavy damage. Needs to get that one away. And there you go. Moves ahead here, but straight into the other T-35. Need to retreat the Panzer IV. It's got marked vehicle on it. Increasing damage taken. Way down to less than half health. Get it out of there, Borgore. Schnell. Panzer IV taking straight to the field gun. What is he thinking? Ach, Scheiße, he's going to throw it away. Pull it back, pull them both back, Borgore. And I'm not sure why he moved to the Pack 40 so far ahead. They lost his Panzer IV. Complete waste. He got the T-35. He managed to get the other one here, but still it's going to be pretty damn close. Main gun out though, and he gets it. Gains Veteran 2 on the Panzer IV, adding Schützen. More armor. More Deutschland. Will it be sufficient? He's still lacking infantry, I think, sort of quickly pull through. Particularly since one of them is an upgrade to Panzerjägers. He needs more Panzer Grenadiers now, an officer. 75 points left here for Borgore. Pack 40 wiped out. Air support called in again. The Luftwaffe once more called to relieve pressure off the backs of the 3rd Panzer Division. Panzer IV is going to need some serious repairs. We can quickly go back in the fight here to support the frontline Truppen of North Pioneers flanking behind the Maxim, but with only a pair of MP40s, they're going to have limited chance here if they don't get pinned down to press first. And there you go, almost wiped. Sending the Panzer IV northwards. More troops, Borgore. More infantry. Truppen. Schnell. Virgo needs to get going. He's sending in the Panzer IV to clear out the Maxim. Victory points whilst he's just bleeding out. He's rushing in desperately. And that's more likely to cause Borgore to make mistakes at this rate. Of course, DeepDarkFantasy could also make mistakes with the Borgore that way, but again, it requires him to plays rationally and then sort of secures a decent sort of position to defend from. If not, Borgore is going to lose.
Enemy forces are attempting to capture our territory.
Got the Maxim there wiped out, annihilated. Come on, more infantry, Borgore, more infantry.
T-34 ready for combat.
Wiping the Maxim, their guards moving up. Another T-35 out there for DeepDarkFantasy and the 7th Guards Rifle Division. Pioneers need to retreat as well. Engineers pinned down there by last strafe there from the Luftwaffe. Looks like he's going to aim for another Panzer IV. He probably should be aiming for Ostmanns or something like that, or just more infantry and a Stug. And his Panzer IV is now going to need some serious repairs again. He's going for another Panzer IV though. This close to disaster, he's just going for another Panzer IV. I'm not really sure that's a great decision there by Borgore.
We are losing territory.
All the victory point being out there by the T-3045 with all its firepower. Looking pretty grim here for Borgore, looking pretty grim for the 3rd Panzer Division and its assault. T-35 heading towards the centre then, dealing with the Pioneers. Got the Panzerjägers moving up. Several hits there, doing some damage, but will it be enough? You got the Panzer IV again low on health here. Borgore just desperately throwing it in there. All or nothing. Sieg oder Tod. Pretty desperate play here, pretty desperate play by Borgore at this stage. Shot bounces. Panzerjäger's dead.
The enemy is encroaching on our territory.
And there you go, Panzer IV abandoned. The crew dead, but the tank could still function in the end. Rushing out the other Panzer IV, but at this point it's pretty much game over. Borgore has lost. A valiant effort, some nice aggressive tactics. Risky and occasionally reckless, but at least there's something a bit more than the usual, just waddling about there from the Wehrmacht. The problem is just his unit preservation needs a bit more work, and strategically he also needs to work better. I mean, he just kept throwing Panzer IVs in, and Stugs, for example, would have served him better. And the Tiger there could also be handled in some ways a bit better there as well. If anything, he might have wanted to wait with the Tiger a bit, called out more medium armor first, so that way secure more immediate advantage, then follow up with the Tiger. Also, mines would have benefited Borgore a lot then. That's definitely one thing he never got around to, laying down telemines or S-mines. Had he laid down mines, I think Borgore would also be in a stronger situation. And finally, there was not enough infantry for Borgore. It was just so low on infantry half the time, and that really gave DeepDarkFantasy in the longer run a much stronger advantage. So, I mean, again, had Borgore just, again, tempered his aggressive tactics a bit more, but also just kept the other elements sort of more functional, he probably could have won this. DeepDarkFantasy, though, play it well, more conservatively in most ways, was close to losing, though, close several times again. Borgore sort of, again, strategic issues, I think, rather than short that DeepDarkFantasy in the end could sort of pull off. So, there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, tell your friends, share it with everyone. If not, send in replay on the phone, or write some feedback in the comments section. And if you do feel like supporting the Propagandacast, because we've done throughout the entire year, do consider donating, as of course it does slam me to pay for rent and food, and you know, that's quite nice. So do consider it. Links are in the video description. This is Imperial Dane signing off, and see you all tomorrow for another sunny episode. Cheers.